Okay, another episode of GANOOZE. We weren't going to do another episode because of the personality crisis we're still suffering from. But there was just so much nutty news that, we felt the responsibility to, do our job. So, first story in the news, virtual Holocaust. Who would have figured? I mean, it really is the top news story here on YouTube. In previous episodes of his saga, his soap opera, he speculated that the Mexicans should have a violent revolution and showed everybody his big gun and everything. And so now he's explicitly talking about the overthrow of the American government. And it's hardware, of course. And it is entertaining. I mean, he says it's for educational value, but it's really for entertainment purposes, I think. He's not promoting it. He's pointing to links, and it's coming out of his mouth, but he's not promoting it. No, that's not promotion. When you talk about it and suggest it, that's not promotion. So anything I talk about and suggest, I'm not promoting it. That's just an illusion that takes place in your brain. It has nothing to do with what I'm doing here, which is not promoting it. I'm just mindlessly, spontaneously talking about it for no purpose. See, I'm not promoting any such revolution or anything. Well, anyway, I mean, it's just ludicrous. I mean, talking about how to disable American tanks and American planes, and it's crazy. This is just crazy. I mean, like I said in the other report, I mean, if Christians were doing this on YouTube, or Muslims were doing this on YouTube, I can just imagine, the rocks flying. I mean, this would just be unacceptable. There's got to be a line somewhere. And as much as I'm all for some revolution, it just really doesn't work. So, I mean, I just can't advocate it. In the second place, yeah, it's nice to talk about, but the real thing just isn't going to work. I mean, in 10 seconds, there's no infrastructure. Okay, no electricity, no gasoline, no food distribution. I mean, we'll be killing each other for a goddamn loaf of bread. I mean, it doesn't go anywhere. This scenario cannot happen where you're going to be throwing Molotov cocktails at your American fucking government. And then when this stupid board guy, he's the sergeant shithead in the fucking Tommy from the Idiot saga, shows another way, assault weapons. You're really making me want to vote against gun rights. Because what is this for? I mean, you're making it clear that you have these guns so you can overthrow the American government. I don't think that's what fucking Thomas Jefferson intended. I mean, I think the goddamn militia was supposed to be defending the fucking United States, not threatening to attack it and overthrow it. Oh, God, this is just so, this is so stupid. I just can't believe this is going on. This is just such nonsense. Atheists waving their fucking assault rifles. I mean, this is the best we can do. Fuck. So anyway, half the news is going to be over. I'm going to do like a 4-part news. Sorry, I mean, I really have no personality, just some anger. Just no personality, just anger. But anyway, Tommy from the Bronx, he put that guy on, Brett King, right? And because he's, thank you, Brett, he has invented a new YouTube for us. I'm sure it's fully functional, got tons of bandwidth, it's going to be right up there, and it's amazing. I mean, he probably did this, he's probably duplicated a billion-dollar company, with what, $55? But anyway, yeah, it's a new YouTube where everybody will be free to say anything, and there won't be any implication to the service provider. Huh? Wait a minute, no, that's, see, under the law, there would be an implication. The service provider is obligated under the law to do certain things. So I don't know how you're going to do that, Brett, exactly. I mean, who's going to be the one getting sued? I mean, you or your friend? Well, anyway, it's pretty funny. But, keep trying. I mean, I was a little irritated because they did take down his new account. And see, this is what doesn't make any sense. He commits kind of a minor infraction, and nothing happens. This virtual lunatic talks about openly overthrowing the Mexican government, waves an assault rifle, and now has done 3 videos explaining how to disable the American military, which I think probably qualifies as treason or something. And nothing. I mean, this doesn't make any sense. Okay, enough of that. Enough of the let's preserve civilization rhetoric. Man, am I ever a scary guy. Let's preserve civilization. Everybody run away, man. I am too fucking scary. Preserve civilization? Oh, shit. God damn it. Run for the hills. Is that ever scary? Okay, news. Okay, they have these 2 movies, very popular movies, American Gangster and The Bee Movie. The Bee Movie. I'm saying, who names these movies? The Bee Movie? I'm going to go to a thing called The Bee Movie, and it's got like this bee from like a honey bottle or something on it. I don't know. Maybe it's a good movie, but it looks a little freaking scary to me. And so you're looking at these movies on the top 10 list. Okay, Saw 4. All right, I guess those were good for like people who like the violent stuff. I really haven't seen any of them. And then the 4th place movie is Dan in Real Life. Who the fuck named that movie? Dan in Real Life. That's not. What? What would inspire me to go to a movie called Dan in Real Life? Remember the next one, the 5th? 30 Days of Night. 30 Days of Night. What? That's a title to a movie. That's like a horse. You name a horse 30 days or something. Oh, Christ. Number 6, The Game Plan. What's that? I mean, it's not a name. I mean, you can't believe people. This, it makes, well, and we made 3.85 million, but it's still millions it's making. And they couldn't afford a name. I mean, they couldn't pay somebody, $300 to come up with a better name than that. I don't even know what this is. A Martian Child? What the hell is that? And then this guy is just, what, Michael Clayton? What the hell is that? That's a name? That's a name, but it's not a name for a movie. Oh, Jesus. And then there's this whole long one here. Tyler Perry's Why Did I Get Married? Oh, man. This is almost painful. And then the last one is Gone, Baby, Gone. Whatever. I mean, what? It's about the dinosaur and it finally goes away now? Or is it the pig named Baby and they're gone now? Or what? Stupid titles. All right, let's see. How much time we got? Any time for real news? Well, running low, but what the hell? We'll see where we go. All right, so the first story would be, first real story, Pakistan. Yeah, they got 500 detainees. They took 500 detainees. You know, like they got rid of the independent press and stuff like that. And but the whole idea, detainees, this is like the new, you know, the new millennium term, and this is like the new term now. You don't, you know, you don't arrest people, you just detainee them, you know, forever. You know, it's very frightening. You know, what do they do with them while they're detaineed? You know, well, they do the non-torture, you see, because our Attorney General, our inspector, says he's going to vote for him, even though he's not too comfortable with the fact that he can't figure out that waterboarding is torture. And but that's the whole thing. So you have a detainee, and then you have a bunch of ambiguous tortures because you don't call them torture. So you don't call it a torture. You just call it waterboarding, or, you know, eye poking out, or finger pulling off. You just call it something, and it's not torture because you have some other name for it. Shit. So what the hell is this? Oh, yeah, I thought this was kind of tacky. You know, I'm reading the stories, and you know, they talk about King Tut, and they call him buck-toothed. You know, so they like buck-toothed King Tut on display. I guess it's the first time he's been on display. You know, it's his 3,000-year-old charified, mummified body. And, you know, it's pretty amazing. I mean, a guy, everybody knows his name 3,000 years later, and some asshole, you know, reporter guy, calls him buck-toothed. I mean, you know, Jesus Christ. We know, I mean, he had to be something. If it's 3,000 years later and we know who he is. You know, he deserves a little better than buck-toothed. Pretty tacky. But, you know, whatever. He is dead, so I guess her feelings aren't going to be hurt. Okay. What the hell? Popular, but I don't know what that is. All right, next story then. The good news is you don't have to hear all the stories because I can't read my own writing. And then this is something else I can't read either. Record, blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, the teacher. She was the teacher that went to Mexico with the 13-year-old boy. Yeah, she was popular but strict. That's the appraisal. And so it's important that we all know this. I mean, I hope they can get her, you know, her whole life story can eventually be told to all of us so we can, you know every intimate detail. Okay, records. I don't know what the hell that is, damn it. All right, well, so anyway, yeah, so apparently there's this China, a couple of Chinese stories. Got a lot of coal-producing industry over there, you know, coal-burning industry. And apparently it's a problem here now because it's like, you know, it takes 10 days for the cloud of, you know, all the coal crap. It takes 10 days to get here, but it's actually, you know, polluting America. But then there's probably lots of European pollution going right into China, so, you know, payback, you know. But there was funny, Hong Kong, you know, they're filming the Batman movie there. And apparently the harbor, Victoria Harbor, it's kind of funny, you know, it's Hong Kong, Victoria Harbor, and the Pearl River leads into it. You know, these names are probably got to change someday. I mean, it just doesn't sound very Hong Kongish, Victoria Harbor. Well, apparently, anyway, it's too polluted, you know, so they can't do the great jumping off of something, landing in the harbor scene. And so, you know, they'll have to jump off of something, land on something else scene instead. So, oh, can't read that one either. Bad don't city humpback. Bad don't city humpback. That's a funny story. Yeah, what's this other one? Oh, Thompson. Yeah, Fred Thompson. That's the guy, one of the guys running for president. And yeah, apparently one of his advisors. These are called advisors now. You know, I think it was probably with the mob because he gets arrested for having 10 pounds of marijuana. 10 pounds of marijuana. You know, I'd still be in jail if I got caught with 10 pounds of marijuana. Then later he was caught for bookmaking, cocaine, and something else. And he never went to jail. He got probation. I mean, just kind of, you know, so this guy has to be a mobster, right? I mean, that's the only way you can get off. You got to be with the mob or something to have that much junk on you and not to serve any time. And so he basically has a mobster as his advisor, but he says, no, he's a good friend, and, you know, he never went to jail, so, you know, he's not going to, he doesn't feel like he has to account for anything or explain anything. And he'll fly around in his jet. See, the guy has a jet, so apparently the guy is connected. So anyway, oh, Google has a story. Besides the fact that they have no capacity whatever to run this thing called YouTube, you know, apparently they can't match their photos to their news stories anymore, and so they got some sort of glitch. They're working on it, you know, but they can't divert any of the zillions of dollars that are going to all the shareholders and the, you know, to college students who used, you know, college money to start this stupid business. You know, they can't divert any of that money to actually invest in the infrastructure of their crappy, useless website. So anyway, you know, I did say that. Where's this last story? Oh, yes, Australia. Where else but Australia? Apparently a guy's trying to get out of a kidnapping and rape charge by blaming a spider bite. That's pretty good, you know. I mean, I don't know if it's as good as the Twinkie guy in San Francisco, you know, who's claimed, you know, a sugar rush made him do it, but the spider bite, that's pretty good. So let's go back to this here story I can't read. Well, there's a couple of them I can't read. So, 207, record blah blah. Jeez, I don't know how I can write this bad. Somebody ought to just kill me. Ugh. I'm probably spell worse than that 13-year-old kid in Mexican. Yeah, well, we're just going to give up. That's enough news, right? You know, I mean, it's dragged way on. It's going to be 2 parts already, so it's just totally out of control. But this is what happens when you have a personality crisis. I hope it's only going to be, you know, oh, see, 15 minutes. That's just way too much. Now I have to add some more just so I have some filler so we don't have the second video. There's something on it besides, you know, just a little bit. So I guess there's nothing else to talk about. Yeah, it's just really weird. I mean, I sort of have the rebel hair. If I put on the bandana thing and everything, I mean, I can do like a scrawny Rambo. I mean, I'm all for, fighting, evil. But just the government's not going to be the, that's not the problem. I mean, the reason why the government institutes martial law or does some of these things sometimes is because you wackos can't do, civilized, you can't act like civilized human beings. I mean, you won't let the black kid go to school, or you're shooting college students or some other crap. I mean, that's the times when the National Guard comes to the rescue. And so this idea that, you're going to have the government is going to be this force that everybody's going to hate is just not going to happen. I mean, all we're going to get, there's no such thing. There's no way to have a revolution that isn't going to be a civil war. And so unless you're ready to start killing each other, personally, killing your fellow Americans, this is really a stupid conversation to have.